Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to episode number 2 of the Green Bay Packers rebuild here in 2007-2008 mod. That is right. We are back with episode number 2. Last episode was a wild one. We had the 2008 NFL draft, and not only that, but we traded Brett Favre in the offseason. So he's now somewhere else, and we've got ourselves Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is our starting quarterback. Now, the bad thing about this is the downfall of that trade is that Aaron Rodgers is a 69 overall, nice, and normal development. Can we develop Aaron Rodgers like he did in real life? I guess we're going to find out. Today is going to be the 2008-2009 NFL season with the 2009 NFL draft as well. So sit back, relax, get ready, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's continue rebuilding the Green Bay Packers. So this is the roster that we ended last episode with. Our guy Aaron Rodgers will start at quarterback. He will be QB number 1 for at least season number 2. That's all we can say about it. I don't know how long he's going to have. He needs to develop very quickly. He really does need to develop very quickly. The rest of the offense is very interesting. We have Dwayne Brown, who we drafted last episode. I was going to take Ryan Clady, but we took Dwayne Brown instead. And we got a good deal on him, too. I think we got him in the second round. He's going to be the future left tackle for us. So we're going to probably trade Clifton in the offseason. That's at least the plan. I don't know what we're going to be able to get back for him, but that's at least the plan, is to trade Clifton in the offseason and just move right to Dwayne Brown. We need to find a center. We need to find basically an entire offensive line, interior offensive line, because we have DeBrickashaw Ferguson, who we got in a trade last episode. On the offense alongside Rodgers, we have Darren McFadden, who we drafted. We have Reggie Wayne, who we signed in free agency? How did we get Reggie Wayne? I don't remember. But I know we made a trade for Megatron, Calvin Johnson. We traded him, traded for the Lions to get Calvin Johnson to pair alongside Rodgers. That's quite the 1-2 punch. We have Vernon Davis on the team. And then on defense, we drafted Gerard Mayo. We have Nick Barnett and some more help a little bit. We signed Scott Fujita. We traded for Mario Williams. We signed Bob Sanders, which was a huge signing in free agency. So the team is coming together. We also traded for Vince Wilfork. I forgot about that. We have a pretty decent young team, but we still have a few holes. We still need to figure out our true starting left outside linebacker. We need to figure out our true starting strong safety. We got to figure out the cornerback spot, because all we got is a lot of old guys at this point. So we need to figure out the cornerback spot. We need to figure out this defensive line, especially the right end spot, because Gabaja Biamila is not going to be the answer, certainly. But these two guys are luckily pretty young, so we should be able to handle that. And then we got to figure out the offense, basically. We got to figure out the offensive line, the interior of it. We got to get probably the quarterback figured out, and then add a couple of receivers. Now, I do want to go after that Patrick Willis trade one more time, only because I want to see if it works now, since we've had a full season. So we tried to get Patrick Willis a bunch of times last episode, but it just never would happen. So I want to see if it's going to happen now. No trade packages, but that's okay. I don't remember what I was willing to give up for him, but I'll give you Scott Fujita. Okay, they don't like that, but that's okay. That is okay. We can work with this. We can certainly work with this. They need a D tackle and a receiver. Oh, we have 2 first-round picks. I forgot about that. And 2 seconds and 2 thirds. Oh, we're loaded for the 2009 draft class. We are absolutely loaded. I can give you a 2010 or 2011 third-round pick. How's that? How's that? Trade decline. See, this is the problem. I don't know what it is about this, about the trading for some players. It just doesn't work sometimes. I have no idea. I have no idea what the problem is. Is there anybody else that I would want to trade for? Or at least attempt to trade for? I would love to get old Randy Moss. Have him paired alongside Rodgers for a year or two. But unfortunately, they want to give up a first-round pick, which is understandable, but I don't want to give up a first-round pick for Randy Moss, which sounds crazy to say, but he's 31. We have Greg Jennings, we have Calvin Johnson, we have Reggie Wayne, excuse me. So our wide receiver core looks pretty good. We also have Danny Amendola, I forgot about that. Our wide receiver core looks pretty good. We do need a backup tight end, probably. Can I get a backup tight end in a trade somewhere? Or do I just have to... I probably just have to wait until a draft or a free agent period. Is there even a tight end that I want? Greg Olsen, 23 years old. They don't have any trade packages for him. What about if I give them... They need a receiver. I've got Corin Robinson. Trade offer accepted. Straight up. Robinson for Greg Olsen. So we have a backup tight end now in Greg Olsen to pair alongside Vernon Davis. I'll take that. Let me just go adjust the lineup so he's in there. All right. Generate best lineup. Bada bing, bada boom. He is now our backup tight end. Perfect. Okay, so backup tight end's at least figured out for a few seasons. We need to load in the draft class, though. Let's get that started here. Let's go to, what is it, 2009? 2009 NFL draft class. We've got Matt Stafford. We've got Mark Sanchez. We got Josh Freeman, Pat White, all the boys. We are still considering a quarterback, I would say, because we don't know how Rodgers is going to play this year. So I'll put Stafford, I'll put Sanchez, I'll put Freeman and White all on the board, but who knows what happens. Do we know how quick Pat White is going to be? Does he have elite speed? It's locked right now. Okay, so we don't know just yet. As far as running backs go, Noshawn Moreno, Beanie Wells, LaShawn McCoy, all these guys could be pretty solid options for us. Arian Foster is a potentially undrafted player. Rashad Jennings. Oh, that's some value right there. Fullbacks, wide receivers. Okay, here we go. I would like to add one more receiver to this team. Darius Hayward-Bay, Michael Crabtree, Jeremy Maclin, Percy Harvin, Brian Hartline. Go Bucks. Brian Robisky, go Bucks. Is that going to be it? Probably. I don't really think anybody else here... Ooh, there's Edelman. I don't really think anybody else here is going to make a difference. So I'll put those guys on the board. Tight ends, you got Brandon Pettigrew, Jared Cook. That's probably... Oh, Zach Miller I'll put on there just because he's Zach Miller. Then you got left tackles, Andre Smith. Could be big. TJ Lang. Okay, okay. I saw DeMar Dotson down there. Left guard, Matt Sloss and Alex Boone. Potentially undrafted for Alex Boone. That's huge. We could get some really good value in the potentially undrafted section. Alex Mack. Eric Wood, Max Unger. All potential replacements at center. We're going to have to probably use some focus points on all three of those guys. Because I am definitely going to... Evan Smith even. I'm definitely going to want to know about those guys. Andy Levitre at right guard. Is that going to be it? Ramon Foster. Ooh, okay, this is a good offense line class. You got Jason Smith, Michael Orr, Phil Loadold, Sebastian Vollmer, Will Beatty. There's a good offensive line. We can figure out our offensive line in this class. I feel like that's definitely possible. Defensive line, I like Michael Johnson. Maybe Paul Kruger, maybe. Probably not, though. Tyson Jackson, Robert Ayers. Anybody else? Michael Bennett as a potential undrafted D tackle. That could be some good value. B.J. Raji. I like that. B.J. Raji. Derek Marks, probably not. Probably nobody else here. We have those 2 first-round picks, so we're going to have to figure out what we want to do with them. Clay Matthews, definitely want to get Clay Matthews. Not just because he's a Packer, but because he's very good. We also could add Larry English. We could add... Even Jonathan Casillas would be fine. What about middle linebacker? Ooh, this is the middle linebacker class right here. Brian Cushing, James Laurinaitis. Got to get 3s. Ray Malaluga. Who else is on this list? Danielle Ellerby. Or Danelle Ellerby, excuse me. Then we go to right outside linebacker Brian Arakpo. You got DeAndre Levy. Or Levy. I always thought it was Levy, but I don't know for sure. This is quite the linebacker class. Corners, you got Vontae Davis, who retired at halftime. Fun fact. Darius Butler. Who else is here? Jarris Bird I'll put on there. Lardarius Webb. Sean Smith. Sherrod Martin. There's some good corners. Greg Toller for sure. Brian McCann. Jason McCourty. Captain Munnerlin. Okay. We need to get corners. I talked about how all our corners are old, so we need to get some corners. Louis Delmas at free safety with Glover Quinn. Okay. I like the free safety stuff. And then strong safeties, Malcolm Jenkins, Patrick Chung. Who else is down here? Nobody else of note. You got Mike Mitchell, but it's whatever. And then kickers. There's McAfee as a kicker, not a punter. Okay. Thomas Morstead. I'll put Thomas Morstead on there. I'll put McAfee, Graham Gano, and Thomas Morstead on there, even though I don't think we're going to be going for a kicker or a punter this year. Maybe McAfee, turn him to a punter. All right. So that's our board for year 2. What does our scouts look like? D-end and running back. Okay. Defensive end is the strength of the class. I kind of want to put it at linebacker. Because if we take a look at the linebackers, there's a lot of linebackers that I like. Arakpo and Levy, obviously the 3 top ones here, and Ellerby, and then Clay Matthews and stuff. So I might want to use it on linebackers. Why is defensive end such a strong suit of the class? I only have 3 guys in total on my board that I like. So I think I'm going to change my scout from defensive end running back to something to do with middle linebackers. Although we already have one middle linebacker quarterback, Dallas Fisher. We'll fire them. File Dallas Fisher, fire Ronnie Cooper, and then let's go hire 2 more scouts. So let's find something to do with middle linebacker. We could do middle linebacker quarterback with Esther Matsui. Or we could do tight end middle linebacker. Anything else? No, that's it. I was hoping there'd be like, how come there's not like outside linebacker, inside linebacker? Why is that not a scout option? I think I'm going to do middle linebacker quarterback. We're going to hire Esther Matsui as our national scout, and then we need to hire a 1-star scout, and that's probably going to be Ashley Medina for D-tackle interior offensive line. So let's not fire you. Let's set you. What do we need? Probably the West. Put you in the West and then put you in the National, and there we go. All right, so we got a new scout. They're not proficient in, or their expertise is not the strength of the class, but it's the strength of what we need. So that is how we feel for that. We're going to simulate to the Week 8 point and see how this team does through the first half of the year. It's all going to ride on Aaron Rodgers, because this team is probably good enough to win around 8 or 9 games like we did last year, but that was with Brett Favre, who was like a 95-plus overall and an X Factor. Now we have a sub-70 overall young Aaron Rodgers with no development trait. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he does. Okay, so at the mid-season mark, the halfway point of the year, we are 4-3, which is fine. It's better than I expected, really, with how Aaron Rodgers is playing. And speaking of Aaron Rodgers, in Week 7, we had a breakout scenario. So now it's time to find out if he did go up from normal to star, which is the easiest to do in Madden simulation. Another big performance. Aaron Rodgers is now a star development player. Okay. I don't know what his overall is now. Probably like a 73, 72, I would say. He's probably up there. Let's find out, actually. Let's go to the adjust the lineup and find out what Aaron Rodgers' overall is. He's now up to a 70, but he's still a 69 because he's just playing up with morale. So that's okay. That is completely fine. But they didn't give it to him for some reason? Wait. I think there's a bug with these mods that's not giving me the upgrades. I just noticed that. He's not even up. You just saw that he got it. So now he's got it. Okay, perfect. So Aaron Rodgers now star development. We are looking good on defense still, except for we have a few bad morale boosts because I think we lost a couple games, or at least we must have lost something. I don't know. We're Week 7. Negotiations. Rodgers needs a new contract. Okay. He's not going to cost too much. He doesn't really want to be here. Kellen Clemens needs one. Nick Collins needs one. Okay. Jarrett Bush. And then a couple guys that don't really matter. Why would Donald Lee ask for that much money? Darren Coolidge will accept the option on. I think we got to pay Aaron Rodgers. We have $74 million. We'll give Aaron Rodgers. We might as well lock him up for a long time while he's super cheap. So we might as well do that. Let's offer him a 5-year or a $5 million deal with a $4.5 million signing bonus. That will not hurt us in the long run. and he's going to accept that. So we got Aaron Rodgers locked up for a 7-year contract for little money, and if he turns out to be really, really good, then we got ourselves Galaxy Brain type move. Nick Collins, I do want back as well. We'll give him a 4-year deal, probably maybe $6 million as a salary, and I don't know, 5.5 as the bonus, and he's going to come back as well. So Nick Collins is back. Jarrett Bush I'll bring back on a 3-year deal. He wants to be here, so we don't have to add that much more money onto it, and he's going to accept. So we have $50 million. We're probably not going to bring back Kabir Gabajabiamila. That's a mouthful. Kabir Gabajabiamila. Probably not going to bring him back. We will accept the offer on Darren Coolidge, or College. Courtney Brown, probably not, even though he wants to be here. We'll let everybody else walk, and then we'll go into free agency with a good amount of money. So that's how the negotiations are going to work. National focus. All right, so we already talked about how we're going to set it for middle linebacker, because middle linebacker has 3 to 4 guys that I'm very interested in. So we are going to set the focus for middle linebackers. I probably should do outside linebacker because that'll get both left and right, but we're going to do middle because I really want to know about those guys. So that's our national focus for year 2. And then we got to get to... Actually, you know what? I think that it's still not using week 11 as the focus day, or the focus week, or whatever. So we might as well just sim to the end of the season. I'll go and check, but I think that they still are doing it. Oh, Jags are 8-1. I have a feeling we're going to lose this game. And we will lose it. We played pretty well. Yeah, see, for some reason it has week 11 not doing anything, but then we have like the focus players right before we use the private workouts, right before the draft, is like right back to back. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to simulate to the end of the season, and we're going to see how the rest of the season plays out. Although we need to make sure, what team do we have? What other draft pick do we have? We have the Chiefs, and they're picking at 23 right now. So it was a... Oh, that's right. We sent Brett Favre to the Chiefs. It was a risky play to go for the Chiefs draft pick because we figured that they would probably be pretty good, and it seems like they are. So that's okay. Maybe they'll have a downfall. Who knows? And it doesn't really matter. I can always trade up if I want to. So let's simulate to the end of the season and figure out where the Packers fall with Aaron Rodgers in his first year as a starter. Okay, so we finished year number 2. We actually almost made the playoffs. The division was not very good this year. The Vikings won it at 8-9, and just barely, because we finished at 8-9 too. So they obviously had the tiebreaker over us. But another year with 8 wins. I'm pretty sure we finished 8-9 last year, and that was when we had Brett Favre. So who knows? I guess Brett Favre didn't really factor in that much. I mean, he is a little older at this point. But we are not in the playoffs, which is not a surprise. I didn't expect us to be with Aaron Rodgers this low of an overall. But he had a pretty solid year. 4,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, 7 picks. I'm hoping he can get just natural progression up to superstar since he already went from normal to star this year. That'll be really, really big. Needs to clean up his completion percentage, but other than that, he had a pretty good year. Darren McFadden is a rookie, ran for 1,400 yards with 5 touchdowns. And then Greg Jennings had 1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns. So it seems like Greg Jennings, even in this alternate universe, is still Aaron Rodgers' favorite target right now. Reggie Wayne had 990 yards with 5 touchdowns. Calvin Johnson had 938 with 9 touchdowns. Vernon Davis had a pretty good year, over 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then on the defensive side of things, Nick Barnett led the team with 122 tackles, then Jarrett Bush with 101, A.J. Hawk 94, Bob Sanders 94, tackle for loss leader Mario Williams and Gabajabiamila with 13. Vince Wilfork had 12, Hawk and Pickett had 10. Sack leader was Mario Williams. It seems like it was a very smart idea to get Mario Williams. 11 sacks for him, 10.5 for A.J. Hawk. Oh, that's pretty cool. Gabajabiamila had 7, so did Vince Wilfork. Pickett 4, Fujita 3. Interception leader Nick Collins and Woodson both had 3. Sanders had 2. Ty Law had 1. So that is your stats for Season 2. Now, since we don't have a... Whoops, didn't mean to go to that. Since we don't have a playoff to simulate, we can just go straight to the Super Bowl. We don't have a ton of money. I think we're going to have like $50 million in cap room. Isn't that what we left it with in negotiations? I think that's what it was. So we're going to have a little bit of money, but probably nothing to go crazy on. It's going to be Browns and Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Okay. Browns and Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I don't know what the Chiefs did. I don't know if they made the playoffs or not. The Cowboys beat the Browns in the bowl. Marion Barber is the MVP of the Super Bowl. J.P. Lossman, that's a name. He wins MVP of the league. Okay. LaDainian Tomlinson wins Offensive Player of the Year. Derek Burgess wins Defensive Player of the Year. Jonathan Stewart for the Cardinals is your Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Chris Long for the Bills is your Defensive Rookie of the Year. LaDainian Tomlinson won the MVP in Season 1 and Offensive Player of the Year. Cowboys are back-to-back champs. The Cowboys are back-to-back champs. The retirements. Saturday, Amani Toomer, Keith Brooking, Derek Smith, Mark Brunell. Anybody of note? Marshall Yonda's a big one. Jonathan Ogden's a huge one. Teddy Bruschi, Junior Seau, both big ones. Brian Dawkins, Brian Dawkins ended up on the Jets. Fred Taylor, Sam Madison, Eric Moulds. There's some big names in here. Jason Taylor, Flozell Adams, Brett Favre. There you go. So we ended up getting an extra first-round pick out of Brett Favre, and he retires the very next season. So I'll take that. That's huge value out of an old guy. Simeon Rice, Jeff Garcia, Willie McGinnis, Willie Anderson. This is going to be a huge free agent class, that's for sure. There's a lot of names. A lot of names. Musha Muhammad, I saw right there. All right, so that is your free agent class for year number 2, or your retirement class, I should say. Let's get to the re-sign period, because I don't think there's anything else other than to accept the option on that offensive lineman, College, or whatever his name was. And then we'll get to free agency and see who's available. Hopefully it's a good class. I have no idea, though. All right, so we are going to accept the option on Darren College, and that is going to be it for our renegotiations. Kellen Clemens, I mean, maybe we should sign him to be a backup, but is that really that big of a deal? We can just have a revolving door of backup quarterbacks. It's not that big of a deal. I also want to check and see dev trade upgrades. Did we get anything for, not the trade center, did we get anything for maybe Rodgers? Or I also want to know what Darren McFadden's development trade is. Is it going to be superstar? It's only star. Let's see. Dwayne Brown's superstar. That's awesome. We need to trade Clifton at some point, probably before the draft. Nobody else goes up, it doesn't look like, on offense. What about on defense? Gerard Mayo finds out that he's superstar. Nick Collins, wait, where's he at? Nick Collins is superstar X Factor now. Okay, maybe he's the answer at strong safety. I don't know. He's got to play. I know that, and he can't play because Bob Sanders is there. We need to figure out this defensive line. We have no depth of the defensive line at all. It's just Mario Williams and A.J. Hawk. And A.J. Hawk can't play both positions. So we need to figure out the defensive line absolutely. And we need to get a new outside linebacker because Scott Fujita's starting to regress heavily. I'm going to actually start Nick Collins at strong safety for right now until we figure out a different plan. Or maybe he just is the plan. I don't know. All right. Let's go to free agency. We need to sign defensive linemen. That is the biggest thing we need to do. So the quarterback class is interesting. Steve McNair, Jake Delhomme, David Carr. Mark Bolger wants to be here. I'll give Mark Bolger a contract to be a backup to Aaron Rodgers. That's for sure. And then we got running backs. Cadillac Williams. Julius Jones wants to be here, but I don't want him to be here. Fullback Mike Allstott. Wide receivers. Plaxico would be cool to have, but I'm not really feeling it, am I? Vincent Jackson, if you were star development, I'd certainly offer you a contract, but probably not. Tight end we don't need. Left tackle we don't need, but guard, Ryan Lila. Is that how you would say that? It wouldn't be Lilja, would it? No, it'd be Lila. I think the J would be silent. I don't know. Whatever. He's superstar development, and he is 28 years old. But then you got David Stewart, who's star development at 27 years old. So a year younger and a development trait, one trait lower. We do need a left guard. Maybe he can be our answer for a couple of seasons. We'll offer him a contract. We'll see what he says. We're battling with the Saints. We need a center, but I think I'd rather draft a center. There's a couple good ones in the class this year. So, right guard, no. Right tackle, no. Kyle Vandenbosch on the defensive line. I mean, we need to get some defensive linemen, so I don't really even care who it is at this point. We need to have some bodies on the defensive line. So, let's offer... I guess I do care who it is. Let's offer... Kyle Vandenbosch, I guess. Not a 3-year deal. Offer him a 2-year deal. That's a lot of money for a 2-year deal, but we're not going to get him. Hold on. We're not going to get him. Let's just withdraw that offer. We'll go for somebody who doesn't have a deal, like Kevin Carter. 1-year deal. Okay, we just need bodies. We just need bodies. Darnell Dockett, I like. I like Darnell Dockett. But he's 28 already, so probably not. Cam Wake, I'll certainly offer Cam Wake a contract. But nope, we're not going to pay him that much. 49ers are in on him. Ooh, Will Smith. I'll definitely go for Will Smith. Here we go. Rest in peace to the great one. All right, so we'll probably get Will Smith. Anybody else? Jason Babin's 29, not worth it. Left outside linebackers. We do need a new one, but I don't want any of these guys. Middle linebacker, you got Bart Scott, Channing Crowder. Channing Crowder is interesting. 5-year deal? No, thank you. I'll give you a 3-year deal. And we're battling with the Raiders. Mike Vrabel, Kevin Burnett. Corners. I don't want any of these guys. Even though we do need corner. And then free safety, strong safety. Not really feeling it. So I can't even offer anybody else anyway. So our targeted is Ryan Leala, Channing Crowder, Will Smith, Kevin Carter, Mark Bulger. Let's see if we get those guys. And we signed nobody. But it looks like somebody did sign. Who didn't we get? We didn't get... Who was it? We didn't get Channing Crowder. He signed with the Raiders. All right. We signed Kevin Carter, but we didn't get somebody else. Oh, no. It's just it's just Kevin Carter. Kevin Carter signs. And then we signed Will Smith as well. So at least we have some defensive linemen now. We have some defensive linemen. But I'm all out of those things with the evaluation period. So let's keep simulating and seeing if we can actually sign those players. Mock draft number 4 is coming up, but we don't really care about those mock drafts. We care about mock draft number 5. That is going to be the most interesting one. I think somebody else might have signed. So our signings, Ryan Leala picked us over the Saints. So that's awesome. And we still have Mark Bulger. He has decided to be the backup to Aaron Rodgers. Okay, perfect. So we got basically everybody except for Channing Crowder, which is not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal at all. I think that's going to be everybody that I offer, though. I think we're just going to save the rest of our money and move on. So let's go to the adjust the lineups and generate the best one so that everybody fits into where they need to go. All right, so now we need to figure out what we're going to do with... They have Rodgers as the backup. No, thank you. McFadden will start at running back. We need to trade Clifton so that Dwayne Brown can start right away. But we'll do that right before the draft. We'll do that right before the draft. All right. So, I think this could be the part where we need to do the, focus players. I don't know why they put it at free agent 3. Just throwing me off a little bit. I'm going to use these 3 on probably the middle line. No, I should probably use it on the centers. Yeah, let's use on all 3 centers. Alex Mack, Eric Wood, and Max Unger. That should take us up to like 95, maybe even 100%. Probably not 100% though. They were at 70, so it could happen, I guess, but I wouldn't think that it would. And then I don't know who I'm going to use the rest of them on. The last 3. But we need to know how good those centers are going to be because we're probably going to be taking a center. All right, so we know that Matt Stafford's a true top 5 talent. No surprise there. We are very interested in some of these running backs, specifically Aaron Foster. Percy Harvin. What's Percy Harvin's speed? Is he elite speed? He has great speed. How do you give great speed to Percy Harvin? So we know, we know 100% on the centers. So Alex Mack is round 1, Eric Woods round 2 to 3, and Max Unger is round 1 to 2. Okay. Tickle me intrigued. We've got... Who are we going to use the rest of this on? Probably... I don't know. I don't know who we're going to use the rest of this on. We could use it on... I want to know all about James Laurinaitis. I want to know about probably Jason McCourty since he's a day 3 guy. And then I want to know about Glover Quinn. So those are going to be my guys for the last 3 private workouts. And now it's time to take a look at the mock draft. So what does the mock draft have? Stafford going 1 to Washington. BJ Raji going number 4. Didn't expect that. Clay Matthews is going number 8. I don't like that either. We're picking at 16 and 18. Okay. So how do I come away with James Laurinaitis and a center? How do I come away with Clay Matthews, James Laurinaitis, and a center? I don't know. I think we should go with Max Unger, though. Because he's not even on the first-round list. Not that I see. There's some good players in this 2009 draft class. I want to draft James Laurinaitis, which we are in position to do. But I think we need to trade our 16th pick to trade up and get Clay Matthews. So we're going to trade up to get Chicago's 7th overall pick. And then we will be good to go there. I need to make sure that the trading is boosted. I think it is. Let's just add this last one. And then we will boost this stuff, even though it doesn't really matter for trading. Might as well just boost it while we're here. Okay, so let's go trade for the Bears pick. And then we will be good to go from there. Because we're in position to get Laurinaitis. We just need to get in position for Clay Matthews. So let's start trading pick 16 to trade up with pick probably 14. Falcons have pick 14, so we'll swap them. And then we will trade... I hate that it takes me all the way back here. We will trade pick 14 for pick 12. Pick number 12. Who's got pick 12? Pick 12, pick 12, pick 12 is held by the Panthers. All right. Carolina, thank you very much. Then we'll trade pick 12 to get pick 10. We will trade to get pick 10 by whoever's carrying it. Pick 11 is held by the Cleveland Browns, and pick 10 is held by who? It is held by the Seahawks. There we go. So then we're at pick number 10. We need to get up to pick number 7. So we'll trade with, I think it was the Lions, right? No, it wasn't the Lions. Who was it? It might have been the Lions. Pick number 10 for pick number 8. It was the Lions have 6. Here we go. It's the Titans. It was another blue team. Ooh, trade declined, actually. Okay, I'll just go from pick number 9 then. I'll do it the long way if you want me to. Who's got pick 9? The Jets have pick 9, so we'll swap with that. Okay, so now we have pick number 9. We need to go to pick number 7, which is Chicago. Because then we jump one ahead of the Titans, and we have a better chance of getting Clay Matthews. So we'll trade pick number 9 to Chicago for pick 7. They have Matt Ryan. I forgot about that. And they should not accept it, but I can give them a 2011 6th-round pick, and they will say trade offer accepted. Perfect. So now we are in position for both of the players that we want, both the linebackers. All we need to do now is make sure that what's-his-face does not get drafted, Max Unger. If we can do that, then we will come away with 3 players that we absolutely need. That'll be a beautiful draft. All right, let's advance to the draft and get ready to go. Let's get ready to rumble. Start drafting. Here we go. Number 1 overall pick is probably going to be Matt Stafford. We'll see if it is. And the game is not showing me who it is. Okay, I'll be back really quickly. I think I just had to back out and relaunch the game. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just backed out and loaded it back in. It's a great game, isn't it? They don't get to show you. They made this whole presentation. They don't even show you. So the number 1 pick in the draft is going to be Matt Stafford going to Washington. So Washington probably has their franchise quarterback. Congratulations to them. Jason Smith goes to Buffalo at 2. Jeremy Maclin 3 to the Colts. B.J. Raji 4 to the Raiders. Mark Sanchez in Baltimore now. And the Lions take Robert Ayers. So now is our time to take ourselves Clay Matthews. And we will come away with a huge outside linebacker who will replace Scott Fujita and start right away. So Clay Matthews at outside linebacker. Love to see it. We needed that a whole heck of a lot. And then we don't pick again until pick 18. That is perfect, though. Brian Arakpo goes to the Titans. Vontae Davis to the Bears. Malcolm Jenkins, Jets. Brian Cushing to Cincinnati. Michael Crabtree in Seattle. Larry English to Tampa. Tyson Jackson, Carolina. Ziggy Hood. Darius Hayward-Bay. And then Alex Mack. Okay, so we are up. We're going to take James Laurinaitis with this pick. And then we will come back and hopefully grab ourselves Max Unger pretty soon. So, James Laurinaitis, welcome to the squad, threes. Although he's going to wear 55, because that's what he wore in the NFL. But James Laurinaitis is on the team. Love it. Absolutely love it. Hakeem Nicks, Ray Maualuga, Jarius Byrd, LaShawn McCoy. That would have been cool. Darius Butler, Fila Moala, Connor Barwin, Mike Wallace, Andy Levitre. We don't pick again, I'll pick 16. I think we might have to trade up a little bit to make sure that Unger makes it to us. Aaron Mabin, Donald Brown. All right, we're into the second round now. This is where I feel like we need to make a move up. There are still some good players ahead of him, but he's right there, and I don't want to take Eric Wood. DeAndre Levy. Oh, I don't know if I can risk it. I don't know if I can risk going any further. He might not even go. He might fall to us. There's a good possibility he will. I just don't know if I can risk it. So trading up from pick 48 to pick 39. Is that even where I need to... We need to go to the Raiders. What do the Raiders have? The Raiders have pick 36. Is this even going to be possible? It's going to be very possible. Okay. But I don't want to give up another player. Or I don't want to give up another pick. I want to give up another player. So I'll give them... Oh, this is going to be where we trade Clifton. This is where we're going to trade Alan Barber. Jason Spitz. This is where we trade Jason Spitz. And I guess not. Then this is where we trade... I'll throw in John Greco. How's that? Okay, I guess it is going to have to be another draft pick. How about... a 2010, I already traded my 5th rounder. How about a 2011 5th rounder? There we go. I almost traded a 4th. That would have been bad. So we give up 2 offensive linemen and a second pick, or one of our second round picks, and then another 5th round pick. We move up here. We're gonna grab Max Unger, and we still have another second round pick. So we've got our franchise center. Boom, Max Unger. We've had quite the first round and second round here. Quite the beginning of a draft. Getting a huge center now. Michael Orr goes to the Ravens. Look at that. Patrick Chung. Eric Wood. Yeah, I feel like Max Unger would not have fallen to us, so it's good that we traded up to get him. Terrence Knighton. Mike Mitchell. Jared Cook. No Sean Moreno. We probably have to use this draft pick to get a... running back, don't we? That would be smart. I guess we'll see how it plays out. Oops, I didn't mean to resume the draft. I guess we'll see how it plays out. So make our selection. What's on the board for running backs? Beanie Wells. I do like Beanie. Good running back. We could take Beanie, I guess. Let's see a look at our favorites board. So Beanie's still there. Oh, we got Arian Foster. That's right. Edelman's still available. Alex Boone is still available. A lot of these guys are undrafted, which is really good for us. Man, I don't really know what the move is here. Do we take a Ladarius Webb? We can't take Will Beatty. But all of my other guys are like undrafted or day 3. So There's not really anybody else that we should take here except for either Sherrod Martin or Ladarius Webb. So maybe this is the move to trade down, get more draft pick capital, and be good to go. Although not a lot of teams are offering me more than just the second round pick. There's really nobody offering me. You know what? What if I package this second round pick along with Clifton? What can I get for that? So let's go to the trade center. Let's talk to throwing in this second round pick plus Clifton, Chad Clifton. What can we get for that? So we can get a first rounder in 2011, a second and a third, a first and a third. Okay. I like that we can get first round picks now that we added Clifton. And that's probably the only way we'd be able to get a first round pick. I wonder, I mean, we can get a bunch of first round picks, or at least every team's offering me one. I wonder if a team would offer me even more. Let's talk to somebody. Not San Francisco. Not New England. Let's talk to Cincinnati. Let's counteroffer this. We'll ask for a little bit more. See if we can get a little crazy here. Let's ask for a 2010 second. See what they say about that. They decline it, but it is honestly pretty close. So let's offer them... It's not time for Carl Nix to start just yet. What do they need? They need a middle linebacker. Is this where we give up Nick Barnett? Because we just brought in James Laurinaitis, so we wouldn't need Nick Barnett. But if I'm going to give up Nick Barnett, I want a little bit more than just this. So they're going to have to give me probably another first-round pick. Okay, I guess not. I guess they're not going to have to give me another first-round pick. What about if they give me a third-rounder and a third-rounder? What about just the other third-rounder? Okay, Cincinnati's being a little stingy here, but I think we can make this work. I do think we can make this work. I'm not sure what I have to give up in return. I'll give up my other third-round pick from this year. Trade offer accepted. So we were able to come away. Maybe I could have added another pick in there. We were able to give up Clifton and Nick Barnett, a second this year and a third this year, to get a first-round pick in 2011, a fourth-round pick in 2011, and then 2 picks in 2010. And I'm pretty sure we already have a extra first-round pick in 2010, right? Because we got it from Kansas City? Oh, no. Okay, so we only have the 1 first-round pick, our own, but then we have 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks, and then a first-round pick in 2011. Okay. So we're playing the long game. But let's simulate to our third-round pick. Okay, what do we have on the board? We've got some interesting things. I think we might just have to start grabbing guys that are undrafted. Except for, I'm going to take Jason McCourty here. We need to get an extra corner. Jason McCourty, welcome to the squad. And then probably in the 4th round is when we're going to have to start taking guys that are undrafted. Because we've seen in the past where the teams have taken guys that are undrafted well before I thought that they would go. So let's start grabbing undrafted guys. So first off, I guess we'll start with Arian Foster. Let's draft Arian Foster. 89 speed. Maybe he'll be the replacement. Maybe he'll be better than Darren McFadden. Who knows? Then we don't pick again until the 6th round. I don't know even how many people are going to still be on our board at that point. Pat White got taken, which is a little bit upsetting. I kind of wanted to get him. Captain Munnerlin's still available. We're going to grab ourselves Aaron Boone. Or Aaron Boone. Not Aaron Boone. Alex Boone. And then we got one more pick in the 7th round. I think. I don't think we have 2 7th round picks. No, we don't have 2 7th round picks. That's okay. Because Ramon Foster and Mike Bennett are still on the table. I wonder how many of these guys would make it to undrafted free agency. I'm going to take Ramon Foster. But I wonder how many of these guys will make it to undrafted free agency. We're getting some good offensive line depth, that's for sure. Let's just see. Does anybody get drafted here? A lot of guys with no pictures are going. There goes John Phillips, Davis, Lancaster. There goes Captain Munderland. I didn't think he'd make it all the way. CJ Spillman. Yeah, so Edelman, all those other guys made it to, I forget the names, all those other guys made it to undrafted free agency. So we got Clay Matthews, he's an 80 overall. Then we got Laurinaitis, he's a 74. Max Unger's a 70. McCourty's 69, nice. So is Arian Foster. Boone's an 68, and Foster's a 65. But they all have development traits, and they're all going to be big players for us in the future. Matthews is the best player in the class, then Stafford at 77, then Vontae Davis at 77. So we came away with quite the player. Percy Harvin only has 95 speed, 96 excel. I feel like he should be a little faster than that. We came away with a good class. Very good class of players. Let's advance to the week. Year number 3 will begin next episode, and I think we've got quite the team now. We're starting to build up a pretty solid roster. I didn't want to go to team salaries. We're starting to build up a pretty solid roster. Although, before we go to this to generate the best lineup, let's go to free agency and see if there's those guys available. So, quarterbacks. Who made it to free agent quarterbacks? Nobody that's... I mean, there's a couple names in here, but... Wait, did I just see Craig Krenzel? The Cowboy? I love the Cowboy Craig Krenzel. He is here. I might want to grab him. All right, running backs... Who made it to running backs? There's Mike Bennett, the other Mike Bennett. Mike Allstott's in free agency. Okay, there's Edelman. We'll grab Edelman. Oh, he's a superstar development player. Look at that. Edelman. Brandon Lloyd made it here, but he's 28. Nobody wanted Brandon Lloyd. Okay, wait, did I say Danny Amendola? Why did I think that said Danny Amendola? It said Antoine Randall L. I must have got these two guys' names confused. They're like mixed up in my head or something. That was weird. Let's see. Offensive lineman. I don't think it was any more offensive linemen, was it? Evan Mathis. Both Evan. Wait, 2 Evan Mathis? I don't know which one's the real one. Defensive line. Man, I'm not really remembering who these guys... I guess I should go to practice squad eligible guys. There we go. Jonathan Casillas makes it. Who else? Buster Davis. Any corners that I passed up on? No. Free safeties, strong safeties. Let me go back to... Did McAfee make it? Where's McAfee at? I don't know. Let's keep going back, because now that we are on the practice squad eligible guys, we need to make sure we didn't pass anybody. I'm not seeing any names right now. I think we got everybody that we needed, right? Those were all the guys that I had on my board. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody else. Okay. That'll be good. So we will end the video there. After we adjust the lineup, adding Julian Edelman and all those guys to the team. There we go. So Foster, we will start at backup running back behind Aaron McFadden. The team is a little interesting. We're going to start Max Unger right away at starting center. The team is a little interesting, but now we've got ourselves the offensive line that I'm starting to like. Because we've got Unger, we've got Brickashaw Ferguson, we got Dwayne Brown. So I'm starting to like the offensive line a little bit here. We're still working on Rodgers. He didn't develop at all for some reason. Or didn't go up in overall, it looks like. Collins is going to have to start at strong safety for this year. Laurinaitis and Gerard Mayo will start. Hawk and Matthews. The corners are still... We're still working on the corners, it looks like. But Brandon Carr will get moved up a little bit. And we still need to work on defensive line. So there still are a lot of things to work on in this rebuild. But that's the point of a rebuild. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.